Okay, the first section of f2ls we're going to do are the basic inserts, and everyone knows these. Just like a normal pair on the right, you just insert it in like this, and then we have the normal pair on the left, you just insert it in like this. Then we have three movers, which is when they're split, but this is also three moves, it's the same amount. And then we also have the left-handed version, which is like this. You just insert it in. Everyone knows those, so I'm going to go quickly through them. Okay. Then we have these slightly more complicated ones, like this is the left-handed three mover when the three mover isn't fully set up. And the way I do this is obviously like if you have you use the open slot, you bring it down, you set it up for the three mover, then you three move it. And then obviously there's the right-handed one, which I need to go like this. There, this is the right side, and this is when you just put it down, put it up, and then insert it. You supposedly in the back. You should always insert your f2l pairs in the back. And then the next one is this case. It's when you have a pair, but the colors are flipped. And trust me, this is a really bad case because you can get it in multiple different areas. And when it's like on top of where you're trying to insert it, or just on top of any empty slot, what you're gonna do, at least I do, which is because it's super fast, is you take it apart, you put it back into the slot, the edge, you put the corner on the back, well, I guess where it was, and then you just do this case where the edge is inside and the corner's right here, and that's where you put it behind the corner to make the pair. And when you do it really fast, it looks a lot cooler like this, because it's just super repetitive and it's super fast because it's like all arm moves. And then obviously there's left-handed version, but I'm not going to do all left-handed versions right now because I needed to get through all the pairs. And then we have this one. It's when the corner and edge are touching each other and these two top colors are not matching. All you need to know is that it's when it's not making the normal the case we just did, and they're two different colors. That's the only thing you need to recognize. Like, you see how these are two different colors? There's a case that are the same. What you do is you put it like a U prime move in front of the open slot right here. You do an R and you separate it to make the three mover. And then so you do a U prime, R prime, and then you just have a normal three mover. That's what you do. And then obviously there's left-handed version, which is the same thing, but just on the left slot, and you do the opposite moves. And now we have we have these cases where they are the same color, but it is set up for a three mover. When they're the same color, you cannot just insert it because they will be the wrong color. What you do here is you get it over its slot again, the empty slot, any empty slot. You bring the corner down, and you put the edge behind it, and then you insert it. Now, this case is a very beginner method f2l case, so you probably use the same, I guess, way to solve it, because that's like the most efficient way, and it's also the simplest. And then there's when they aren't together and the white is facing up. The biggest thing you have to look for, and the biggest tip I can give anyone for this case, is like hold it so you can see both the edge in the corner on two faces. Don't hold it the opposite way where you can't see them at all. See, I can't. But if I hold it right here, the edge is right here and the corner's right here. Then look at those specific sides. And if they are the same color, which they are, blue and blue, what you do, there's actually two ways to solve this. The way I do it is you put it over, because this is super fast. You put the edge over its matching color, which is blue. Then, depending if you have right or left, since this one is still connected more on the right side versus if it was on the left, the corner would be right here. The right side, what you do is you go do an R prime, well, no, just an R, and then a U to bring it over the edge, and then you bring it back up. And this can be done super fast like this. And that's why I like it. Now, there is another way to do this one. If you have it from a different, I guess, side, is if the corner is over the open slot instead of the edge over the open slot, you actually just do like an R to flip the corner, and you will realize you actually just have a 3-mover perfectly set up. So then you just do that 3-mover. So those are the ways I do it. I typically do it the first way just because I haven't made it a habit enough. And then we have like the left-handed versions for all those. And then there's another case actually. So this is when the way that you're holding the cube, if the edge in the corner are on the same on the sides you can see, you always want to hold it to the edge in the corner on the 2 sides you can see, because if I flip it, you can't. If they are not matching, which this will also happen, what you do is you still put the edge to its matching color. You do a U2 to bring it over the edge, which will match it. Then you have the left-handed version, which is where it's just they're not matching, but it's except they're like this. And in this version, the corner would actually be over here, and then you would put it back and then bring it over. And now this is not the right one, so it doesn't matter. But in the left-handed one, you'd just do the same thing left-handed. Okay, so incorrectly connected pieces. This is a fun case. Let's see if this will be good enough. I'll just do this case because this is the one I can get it to fastest. This is when they are both connected to each other and white is up. But the biggest key fact here is if they're matching or not matching on this side that you can see. So there's going to be a bar, and if they're either going to be matching or not matching. And right here, they are matching. In this case, the case I use it isn't that efficient, the solution I use, but it's really fast. So what you want to do is you do an R and then do a U prime into the open slot. Then you disconnect it, so now they're disconnected, and then you just do this case where you take it out again and then do the 3-mover. It is sort of slow, but it's super fast on the fingers because I'm just going to do it. That's what the whole thing is. That wasn't the right case. That's why I didn't solve it. But it's super fast on the fingers, so I can execute it super fast. Now, the next case is this case. It's where the colors don't match. If you look at the bar where they're connected, they actually don't. That's orange, that's blue. This case is really fast, I think, personally. Because what you do is you do an R, and then you can do whatever U2 you want. You can go U2 like that, or U2 like that. It's whatever is faster on your fingers. I do a U2 like that because my left hand's free. Then it makes it immediately into a 3-mover. So whenever they're not matching, now you could get this exact mirror opposite thing on the left, and all you do is you just bring the left up and do a U2. It's always going to be U2. It's always super simple. So you can go like this, and especially if it's already set up over its pair, it's super fast insert. And yeah, and then obviously the left-hand version I explained. Then there is one more that I hopefully am able to get to. This case is where it's not facing up. The white is not facing up, but it's facing to the side, and the tops are matching. And for this case, I would say just do an F, U, F prime, and that will make the 3-mover, and then you do the rest. You're gonna have to memorize this and get it in your muscle memory, but it'll make more sense. Corner in place. Oh, this is a fun one. So this is the first case. This is actually what the beginner's method uses, and it's when you have the corner already in place and the edge is just out. That's literally how simple it is, and the corner is already perfectly in the edge. What you do is you match up the edge. The way I do is you match up the edge to its matching color. So that's facing out, sorry, not like blue. Don't match to blue. But like, see how that's matching now? And then you do this algorithm, which is a beginner's method algorithm, so most likely you know it or you haven't done it in a long time. And what you do to remember it, I guess if you haven't done it, is you turn it away from the corner. Like if it's on this side, you turn it this way. But since it's on this side, turn it away. Bring the corner up. And then see how there's 3-mover? Now you can't immediately insert it because it would take out your white. But instead, you do a U. So then when you bring it down, it makes a pair. And then you can just sledge it, or you can even just normally insert it. But I think sledge is slightly faster there, and it gave me a better OLL case. So the next case, this one. So there's multiple different ways these cases can be, multiple different ways the colors can be arranged. And I think this one is one of my least favorites, but it's fine. I have a tip for this one. You're going to look at the colors that are facing up, that is not the white, because you already know it's a white piece. But the ones that you can see easily would be the red and this red. And if they're matching, that means you need to do a sledgehammer or take out the corner and do a U or do a move away from it. Depending if you're doing the other, I think it's a left-handed version, you would actually be doing a U prime, not a U, but you would take it out and it would make a 3-mover. But personally, because sledges are just fast and it's just been in my muscle memory for a long time, you hold the corner so it's, I guess, the white is facing you and it's in the pocket. So this is the only way I can hold. I can't hold it like that because the white isn't facing me. So you see the edge. Then you do a sledge starting with the corner, and it actually makes a pair immediately. It's crazy fast because it's just like a really fast algorithm. And then the next one is when they're not matching. The colors that are facing you closest, like red and green, these are the ones you're going to see immediately. Is when they're not matching. This is slightly faster because obviously any normal beginner would probably see this. You could just match it up like that. But there's actually an even faster way. If you do an R, then you move the corner over the edge and you bring it back down, it stays in the exact same spot. And I don't know if it even saves moves, but I think it does. So you just bring it back and bring it over. For the other left-handed version, it's the exact same thing, just with left moves on the side. This next one is when the edge is sort of in place and the corner is on top of it, or just in the U face. Because now this is a very rare case because not that many times your edge gets stuck there, but it does happen. And somehow your corner is also not there because, like, I don't know. But basically for this case, what I would do is you just take out the edge and you have a 3-mover and you just insert it. That's easy. You do that for the left-handed. And yes, the corner can be like over here and here and here, but like if it's on top, just move it always to the spot where it's going to have a 3-mover set up, which is usually when the white's facing you, I guess, because if it's on the left, the white would be facing you. The white would be right here and the edge would be right here. So yeah, just white would be facing you. You take it out and you do a 3-mover. You'll get better at that and better at noticing that the more you do it. Then we have the other ones. Different way the edges can be. This is when the edges is flipped and the corner can be anywhere, but it's the corner, the white is like facing on the normal side, it's not up. And for these ones, there's a little trick for this, is if you actually take it out with F moves, the edge, if you take it out, I guess, with red first, because that's what you need to make a 3-mover, then it makes a 3-mover. But if you take it out normally, it makes another case that you don't want. So think about that. Whenever you see an edge that's like not in its normal spot, or you just look at the colors and you're like, oh, these are matching, this one and this one, then you know I need to take it out with F moves, and it actually makes a 3-mover, so it's super fast. So this is probably going to be the most a very common one. I mean, it's slightly uncommon, but it is a very fast one. And all it is, if you've ever heard the term sexy move in cubing, which is R, U, R prime, U prime, you do that 3 times. Actually, you only do it twice. You put this corner over it, and you do it twice, and it will set up a 3-mover. You do it 3 times if you're already over the slot you need to go in, because the 3rd time actually inserts it. And then the final case is just a solved pair, but flipped. And obviously everyone knows how to do this. You can do this so many different ways, especially if it's like in the wrong slot. Like, for example, if it's in like the slot next to it, what you can even do is you can take it out towards its slot and then just cancel into it, insert it back in. And okay, that's all for that case. And now we are on the last cases. These are all when the edge and corner are all in the right slot, or in the A slot, but just not oriented right. Next one is when you have these flipped, the edge flipped in its pair. This is the most annoying. There's literally no fast way to do this. You just the best way to get it fast on the fingers is you sledge out of it so it sets you up immediately, and you just do the case. That's what I would at least say. Okay, so the next one is when the edge is matching, and the corner, the white is facing you. And This truly you just get good at with practice, because this is a very weird one, but I just figured this out on my own. Is if you take it out into U prime, it sets you up with this case, which you can also do super fast out of the box. I think that's pretty fast. The next one is when I guess the edge is flipped and the corner is in the exact same spot where it's just facing you. And the best way you'll be able to tell is this side will be matching. And this one, if you also take out and do a U prime, it sets you up with this case, which is also, I would say, pretty fast, especially if you're good at F moves. If you're not, womp for you. Sorry. But yeah, that's how I would say do it. And then all the others are just the flip versions of it, and just experiment around to find out what is fastest for you. Because trust me, some people are super good at like F moves, some people are terrible at like D moves. So experiment. I think I just did that one. Yeah, experiment around with what f2ls are definitely fastest for you, because there are so many. And I'll see you in the next video.